It came from me just playing the Entity, actually. And I was just messing about, and I was like, I'll come up with this other riff.
So sort of intro, verse, and then we had like a verse part 2.
That's right.
Which was like a sort of groovy kind of riff that I wrote.
Yeah.
And then I think you edited it and sort of made it a bit more complex, sort of shifting a few beats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the chorus I had as well.
That's right.
Which we sort of somehow managed to shoehorn in there, I think. But I think it's one of those ones again where the vocals tie it together because there's so many different ideas.
But that was tough, man. I remember that was one of the tracks I was like banging my head against the wall and like messaging you. And it's like I don't know what to do with this. It's like this is too difficult. This is like too prog. Like I can't wrap my mind around it.
The soft part of the first verse, I think that was like the first part that was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because there isn't really anything going on. There's like there's no movement on the guitars, sort of. Tonally, it's up to the vocals to sort of lead it somewhere.
Yeah.
So then I think I came up with this just sort of monotonous pattern that then that you made then sort of build up.
Yeah, which I did the same thing as on the other song where I just like built the number of harmonies over time to just make it sound more artificial.
Yeah.
So the story is about I tend to game quite heavily, and one of the best games that came out a couple of years ago was a game called Soma, which is a kind of a survival horror puzzle game. What's going on and why am I here and what is my purpose and so on. So if you've played the game Soma, the lyrics may make a little bit more sense to you. Otherwise, I apologize.
The interesting thing with this song as well is the chorus almost sounds like 3 different choruses joined together, and it works really well. Like if you split them up, you'd think, oh, it's just a chorus, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. There's another chorus. But there's another one. It's really interesting.
But then because it's not traditional verse chorus,
exactly,
it's like verse part 1, verse part 2, chorus, then this other thing that could be a chorus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then it goes into this big instrumental section with actually with a spoken word as well.
Right.
Yes.
But the instrumental section actually sparked from the riff that Steve had.
I'd come up with the riff, bass guitar riff, because I wanted to enter a competition for something, and I'd sent it to Rich to try and expand on it so that I actually had a track to play along to, and Rich just seemed to stretch this one bar. That's all it was, just one little bar, and he just seemed to stretch it out over this like 3-minute instrumental section in the middle of the song, and it just did all this stuff, and it all came, and I was like, how on earth did you do that? But he did. It's an absolutely brilliant, and it, just
because it goes through all these different tonalities and textures. Like you have it coming like really heavy with chords, single notes, tapped.
Harmonies.
There's some really quiet bits as well, and it kind of dies
like it all breaks down to like really soft drums and a bit of keyboards, all the way up to bits where I thought, well, what happens if I record it and then reverse it and then harmonize it?
Because it's only like 17 notes. I've worked it out as I've sang it in my mind. There's 17 notes and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then
but that's the cool thing about prog is that you deconstruct the delivery, you deconstruct the timing, you deconstruct the pitch, you deconstruct everything, and you just like reconstruct it and you Frankenstein these things together, and there's no end to the possibilities, because wherever you go, that's what prog is. It's amazing.
Yeah. Then it goes into like this 80s metal with like a cowbell thing. It's like, how? Like, where did this all come from? But I think it all sounds really natural as well when you hear it. It doesn't sound like, that was weird, why did they do that?
And I just couldn't believe that he'd actually used a pitched piece of music that I'd written in one of the songs on the album. I was gobsmacked. Even if it was only one tiny little piece, it was still used, so I was quite proud of that.
And the bit in The Last Alive as well, where you're screaming like crazy, as you remember, and everything stops and it's just you screaming, and I was like, because the first time I heard it, I was like, what on earth is that?
That is completely accidental. That happened just in the studio. I was going to do something else, but then because I'd been in the studio for 3.5 hours recording, just my voice decided that it was going to do this weird note, this fractured note, and then I was like,
onto like a harmonic.
Yeah, and then I was like, hey, and then I just pitched it up into like a little bend, and just like, maybe I can throw some vibrato in, and I did, and it worked. And I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but it was just
it's like one of those unreplicatable things.
That's right. Yeah.